Good morning, beloveds. It is hot and moist. And there's that word nobody likes, moist.
Surprise!
Hot and moist. Maybe I should turn my... Okay. So, we're just looking at the next week or so of, I think the 10-day forecast has it sunny and hot for the next 10 days. Yay! I've pretty much switched exclusively to biking because it's too hot to do much of anything else. But, I gotta keep moving. So, love my bike. And it is July 10th. Our title is very long. The Realm of Untold Riches Within. And our author is Elizabeth Nordman. This was published in the Divine Science Monthly in 1932. So let's see what Elizabeth Nordman has to say. All right, the realm of untold riches within. The kingdom of God within me is the realm of untold riches. I release myself from bondage to the rags and tatters of poverty and don the garment of abundance by freeing my thought of fear, of lack, of doubt, of uncertainty. I am master over conditions and not a slave to them, for I use the power, the intelligence my God has given me. I place God first, remembering the words of the Master. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and these things shall be added. The giver of all gifts withholds nothing from them that trust its love, its power, its intelligence. God gives good freely, abundantly, without measure. Why have I, a child and heir of God, failed to receive that which my spirit has apportioned me? Has God withheld its good? Has God denied me anything? Is God, the giver of all good, responsible for my lack? No, within myself lies the reason for my failure to receive the gifts of God. Is it fear, indifference, impatience, discouragement, envy, ill will, self-righteousness, insincerity? I earnestly seek to remove the cause for my failure to receive the abundance. I rely upon thy inexhaustible storehouse of riches and abundance, O my God, to supply my needs. All right then. So that one was an excellent... Okay. I got two competing ideas that I need to get them both out. One, a whole lot of that would be really good for a treatment. Two, down there at the end, she asks the question. And sometimes what we need to do is, because she had a wide variety from fear to self-righteousness. And I was like, okay, she had a fairly complete list of, okay, what have I got in my consciousness that I need to let go of? I am, however, going to lean back into Maslow's ladder. Okay. What she is talking about is spiritual work. And to do spiritual work, people need to have their basic needs met first. It is one of the reasons why Science of Mind does lean into social justice. We want everybody to have the ability to do spiritual work. You can't think about abundance if your belly's not full. And so that's one of the reasons why we want to make sure that everybody's basic needs are met. And so we lean into that. So if your basic needs are not being met, do you have food? Do you have shelter? Do you have, I forget what the third one is. There's another one. But point being, if you don't have those, then this means absolutely nothing to you. You cannot focus on, the question of, well, what's in my consciousness, fear or lack, if your basic needs are not being met. So that's one of those things. It's like, when we teach prosperity, yeah, that's great and everything. But the first question we have to ask ourselves is, are our basic needs being met? If our basic needs are not being met, then this kind of work is kind of pointless. Because yeah, we are in fear and yes, we are in lack. So That's the one thing I always want you to remember when we do things like that. This work is much, much harder to do if your basic needs are not being met. And your basic needs being met, that's not just about what might be in your consciousness. That is also the fact that we are in relationship with other people. You know, we are in a community, we are in a society. And so you want to make sure that your basic needs are being met. And then we can do this kind of work, okay? I don't ever want anybody whose basic needs are not being met, you know, asking themselves that question of, okay, well, am I working in self-right? You know what? Your basic needs aren't being met. Let's get your basic needs met first. Then we can talk about what's in your consciousness. Okay. I just, every now and again, sometimes I read these things and it just hits me and I'm like, you know what? The first question to ask yourself, are your basic needs being met? Then we can have this kind of conversation. And I don't ever want anybody to think that if, you know, you should, yes, you can do this kind of work if your basic needs aren't being met, but it's not, you know, it's not as easy. So what resources do we need to activate out there and get your basic needs met? And then we can go back and ask that big question that she asked, because she says, God never fails to pour out the abundance. And yet we get in our own way, and we can also get in each other's way. So, and that's why I always mention relationship when we are in relationship with another. You know, I live in a house with my partner, and we have slightly different mindsets when it comes to abundance. And so sometimes we get in each other's way. And so we need to recognize that. We need to recognize that, you know, sometimes, you know, if he's working from a lack mindset and I'm working from an abundance mindset, we're working at cross purposes. And so it's helpful for us to sit down and have that conversation. Okay, here's where I'm coming from. Okay, here's where I'm coming from. Okay, can we meet in the middle? So do bear in mind that when you do this kind of abundance work, you are in relationship. Okay, you are in relationship. So go and ask the hard questions, but make sure that you spend time talking to the people that you're in relationship with, you know, about this kind of stuff. Now, I do fully love the fact that she starts out with the kingdom of God within me is the realm of untold riches, because that's where it begins and ends. That is where it begins and ends. When we look around at nature, you know, because Jesse's working from Emerson right now. And so, you know, Emerson's like, let's look around at nature. You know, nature never does anything halfway. Nature's all in. And so that is what is being asked of us. Are we all in? And that's why when she gets further down into this, she asks the question, okay, within myself lies the reason for my failure to receive the gifts of God. What is it? And then she gives you this amazing list. Fear, indifference. Are we not paying attention to what's going on around us? Impatience. You know, divine timing. It's not, God's timing is not always our timing. Discouragement, envy, ill will, self-righteousness, insincerity. She's like, are we asking for things we don't actually want? And it will fall into insincerity in that. Sometimes we ask for things because we think that that's what we should want, but it's not actually what we want. So it's like, okay, what's in my consciousness? How am I getting in my own way? So it's always a good idea to go back and look at how we are getting in our own way. And then, like I said, go and have that conversation. If you are in relationship, you know, I don't live in my house by myself. I live in my house with, you know, with several other sentient beings, but one of them's a 2-legged and the others are 4-legged, you know. And so it's like we need to have this consciousness conversation. It's like, okay, what is your untold riches consciousness? What is my untold riches consciousness? Because, you know, the 4-leggeds with fur, a couple of them, they get fingers full of cream cheese and they are in untold riches. You know, their lives are simple. Sometimes it would be helpful for us to go back and look at nature and go, wow, that's all it takes to make you happy? All right then. Because sometimes it's all around us and we are simply not paying attention. Simply not paying attention. So, and that's what she says. The giver of all gifts withholds nothing from them that trust in its love, its power, and its intelligence. The amazing thing about dealing with God is God does not hold back anything. We are always free to use the power and the intelligence and the love, because it's what we're made of. It's what we're made from. It's what we're made for. We are made to channel that love into this world. We're made to channel that power into this world. It's part of our, what is it? Our purpose in life. If we have any purpose at all, it's to experience. It's to experience. Well, to do that, we get to channel that power and that presence and that love, and that life into this material existence for as long as it lasts. So, as she says, the realm of untold riches is within us because we're made from and of and by that spirit, that God. And it's up to us to remember that. So, if your basic needs are being met, go back and ask yourself the question, how are you getting in your own way? And then go to the source of your own being and say, I'm willing, I'm open, guide me, show me. And God will, Spirit will. But then you got to be open to the answers, and they're going to look nothing like you expect them to. Some of them will. Some of them will look exactly like you expect them to. And others won't look anything like what you expect. So, all right. That is... Oh, well then, what is the mission today? Oh, no. Actually, there's so many missions that you could take out of this one, but I'm kind of the opinion. It's like, has God denied me anything? No. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to look within ourselves. Ask ourselves that question. How are we getting in our own ways? And what can we do to get out of our way? What can we do to get out of our way? Maybe there's something we need to let go of to get out of our own way. Or maybe there's something we need to recognize. That's the mission today, should we choose to accept it. And when I say recognize, it's recognize who you are. And I'll give you a hint. You're a beloved child of God. When you recognize that and let go of everything else, your life will take a turn for the interesting. So, all right. Okay, that's the mission today. Should you choose to accept it? The second mission is the same one I give you every day. Do something loving for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like. It can be as simple as taking a deep breath before you speak. That basic. Or, as I always like to say, take a walk, take a nap, take a break, say yes, say no. Eat dessert first. Make room in your life for joy. I always want to go back to that. No matter what is going on in the world, okay? No matter what is going on in the world. And I mentioned Maslow, and I mentioned that we want to make sure that people's basic needs are being met. Well, no matter what is going on in the world, you deserve joy. It is a quality of God. Please make room for that. It is one of the most basic, simple things that you can do that is loving, kind, and compassionate, is to make room for joy in your life. So please do. And sometimes it looks like eating dessert first. And sometimes it looks like wearing the nice clothes. And sometimes it looks like not saving the good stuff. So you got plenty of things. Just make room. Make room for joy. And then, like I said, practice on yourself. You are your own best test subject. I'm encouraging you to create a habit of responding with love, kindness, and compassion no matter what is happening. And You deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. When you treat yourself with love, kindness, and compassion, you are treating others how to treat you. People are going to treat you how you treat yourself. If that doesn't rock you back on your heels, you're not paying attention. All right, beloveds. The rest of the suggestions are the easy ones. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you today. Drink plenty of water. I did mention that, for the next 10 days, it's going to be hot. And hydrate. Your brain works better when it is well hydrated. Your body works better when it is well hydrated. Please drink plenty of water. And then, as always, I'm going to remind you, 5 to 10 minutes of early in your day bright light. If you get up before the sun, artificial light will help. You can order blue light lamps for people who get up before the sun that help with that, sun exposure. And I'm talking between 7 and 9. So if you get up before, then please feel free to order those blue light lamps that mimic that sunlight, early morning sunlight. And if not, go out. That's part of the reason I go for that bike ride. Most of my bike ride is shady, but there's parts where I'm getting that early in my day bright light. I didn't sleep that well last night, but that early in my day bright light does help to restore that energy. So please, early in your day bright light. It's called a circadian rhythm. It's science. You can look it up. It's about balancing your hormones. Believe it or not, the sunlight influences your hormones. So check that out. You can look it up. It's science. And then, as always, as I say, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. Because heaven is a mindset. It is a state of consciousness. It is not a place we have to get to. But once we learn how to create that mindset, to create that state of consciousness, it becomes any place we are. And if that is not a superpower, I don't know what is. And trust me, I grew up as a nerd and a geek and all of that, read all the comic books. I know superpowers. That, my dears, is a superpower. And it is one you come pre-installed with. It's called the Christ consciousness. Start there. And you want to activate the Christ consciousness, you start with love. Love yourself, love your neighbor. All right. And you can always take him as advice. Look for the good and praise it. I mean, that will get you everywhere. All right, beloveds. I am going to jump forward into, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Please feel free to go and check out all that content. You want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. Those hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll either take you right to the information or to the person that will help you get it. Okay? So, and one of the hot links will take you directly to my favorite playlist on the Creative Life Spiritual Center, which is the Soul Sessions. Okay? On my on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube, mine is mostly the books based on the month, but I did read this thing called You to You because it's my favorite Ernest Holmes book. Please feel free to check that out as well. It's on both YouTubes though, so feel free to check either one. All right, beloveds. I am going to, where am I? Oh, I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an untold riches within day, an exploration day, a know who you are day, answer the question day, are your basic needs being met day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark, a brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action, or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Know the truth of your being. If we are going to look at the untold riches within, that's where we start, by knowing the truth of our being. All right? As she called us, we are heirs to God. That is who we are. All right, beloveds. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.